trying to do?
That,
You're on, by the way.
Huh? What are you doing? Oh, Phil, forget it. Are we live? We're live. Hey, how you guys doing?
I feel
What
like
do
a
you?
mushroom.
What are you struggling with there?
Nothing.
Oh, you figured it out?
It's a Blade Runner gun.
Kinda. Yeah. The new CP33 stands for Competition Pistol 33 Rounder. 33 rounds of 22 long rifle goodness inside that little bitty guy. Nice sights. Works really nice. I want to shoot it. Somebody come buy this so that we can shoot it because I'm really interested.
We've sold a couple of those.
I talked to the guys at Caltech at SHOT Show, and they had this, but they didn't have it out on the range, so we didn't get to actually shoot it.
Is that for a sling?
I guess. It's kind of odd. It's got like little, I guess, maybe it's for a necklace. Can you wear this as a necklace?
It's a shower
like jewelry?
gun. That's your shower gun.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd want to eject mags like that in competition. And I don't really know, I mean, I guess for like Steel Challenge it would be legal, but there's not really a whole lot of 22 competitions that I know of.
Caltech just proving again that they don't care what that gun's supposed to look like or how it's supposed to feel or 33
rounds of 22 in there though. That's pretty awesome.
It's a double stack rimfire magazine.
Yeah.
If you look at it straight on, you ever do that? It's a V. See that? See how it flares out to accommodate?
It probably makes sense because I bet like the rounds have got to be all wiggly wobbly.
You can actually see that there are two channels here for the rimfire. So as you feed them, it staggers them. Pretty clever.
Yeah, I want to shoot it. So somebody come in, buy this guy, and then let's go shoot it downstairs.
How about you buy it and we'll go shoot it downstairs?
Well, I don't really have much of a need for a 22 like this.
Pretty cool though.
It is neat. Got good sights on it too.
Yeah, you can't miss those for sure.
No, it handles neat.
But it does. It looks like
I want to shoot it.
Looks like a stormtrooper gun, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's that way. The crazies don't get too terribly excited.
Anybody that has any sort of an EDC, right? Good quality pocket knife is part of that. How about limited edition?
The limited edition Benchmade Infidel. I don't want to hear about Benchmade, blah 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 blah.
Get over it.
No, they didn't realize what it was really, and they never gave permission for that stuff to be shared. And some of you guys have issues with them, giving money to the Democrat Party. You got to remember that the knife community and the knife rights are not protected like gun rights are. So there are some states that do restrict the knives quite a bit. Some restrict them even more so. That knife is actually not even legal in multiple states.
Oh, it's so cool though.
So Benchmade's doing what they can to keep their business viable, and that is to continue to push for knife issues where they need to be pushed. So
I'll still buy Benchmade.
I won't, but that's for a totally different set of reasons. My budget don't fit Benchmade's.
No. Knife, and that is not the kind of knife you want to go around losing.
Right. I'm more of like a $30 knife kind of guy.
That one?
Yeah, something like that. A Kershaw?
Knives for their price.
Well, that's just, we talk a lot about guns on the show, right? But a good quality. Yep. There's yours. Where's yours? Knife should be part of everybody's EDC.
I hate to admit, but I don't really know.
It just gets, don't throw a knife over here.
Yeah, throw knives. We're throwing knives. Woohoo! Hey!
That's the knife right there.
That's
Look
a
at this
knife.
Right.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
we got all
Phil.
kinds of knives. Look at that. That's Phil's.
Yeah.
This is balls.
Look at the.
Sit. Now, I do have a question though. Why are there no crowns on here? Is that so there's no eating the knives?
He uses that to sharpen crayons.
And that's a nice Emerson. I'm pretty sure
It's the same
that's
one
the
I'm
same one
carrying,
you
isn't
have.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's hard to beat. What is it? It's like 40
It's like
bucks
40
or something.
bucks, and it works great. They actually
Quick
have
open
little different calibers
Yep.
that you can get for the button at the top, so you can
Yeah.
do a 9 and a 45 and
40.
all the fun stuff. I mean, I guess you could do that if you wanted to be dumb. There's 10 millimeters too. I know you're all upset about all this no 40 talk.
No, I'm not upset about it. It's just
why would
that
you have a 40?
I didn't realize that I worked with so many caliber snobs.
It's not a caliber snob. It's just if it's not,
If it's not 9 millimeter,
relevant, it's not relevant. Like, how many people do you see fighting the argument still that the 1911 is the greatest everyday
Oh, yeah.
carry gun?
oh yeah.
I mean, yes, two world wars,
yeah.
45, stopping power. I get it, totally do. But it's not something that you necessarily want today as being your everyday carry. Some guys still are. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, just like there's nothing necessarily wrong with a 40. You can still carry them. I will make fun of you a little bit, but it's totally cool. You can make fun of me. Go ahead.
I'm just tired, dude.
Why are you tired?
Because I
Did you stay up late last night partying
did.
with the kids?
did. No, that
No.
was over the weekend.
No.
Did you have a
And
good
you still
Labor Day?
haven't gotten back to it? Yeah, not bad at all. That was fun. Not bad at all.
Parking lot looks good.
Didn't do a whole lot. Yeah, parking lot looks really good. Smells
Parking
really
lot's-
bad, but
yeah,
it looks really
It smells like it's a new parking lot.
Smells like new parking lot, new asphalt, so it has a bit of a tang to it. But we can't smell it inside, so
Yeah, not so much.
just hold your breath, run inside, and then everything will be okay.
So what we got going on? There's some weird stuff, and let's talk about what
This
we're
weekend
doing
was
here
weird.
first.
Yeah, let's do that first.
Because there are
So,
plenty of like stupid things in the news happening.
lots of stupid.
I just
lots of stupid.
just read one a second ago that's just still I'm scratching my head.
Which one is that? I mean, there's a lot of them that really got me just absolutely baffled.
San Francisco.
Oh, which one about we talked about San Francisco? This is like the third week in a row.
San Francisco
They-
has
new poop
declared
problems?
they've declared the NRA as a terrorist organization.
Yeah, because that's definitely the problem that
So-
San Francisco's got right now.
So since I am a member of the NRA, I guess that makes me a terrorist. Right?
I mean, I think
Isn't
that's
that what they're
kinda
saying?
how what they're saying, yeah. Yeah. Now, does that count because all of their training for their police force also goes through the NRA? So is
I
there a
didn't
police
say
force?
I didn't say what they did was smart. I just
Yeah.
said they just
It's so amazing.
so they got people they have more feces on the street than in the toilets.
Yes.
They got
And they're
rampant-
arguing about how to clean up the poop.
Yeah, they have rampant petty crime there because the homeless population is huge.
Yeah, they poop in people's backyards.
And instead of addressing those issues, they want to declare the NRA a terrorist organization.
That makes sense, though.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you don't think about it at all,
Like they didn't think about it.
like it makes. Well, it still
It's-
doesn't. I don't even know if that
It's
makes
crazy.
sense.
So
Anyway.
anyway, but it just,
It should stop shootings, though.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
More laws will make
Right.
people start obeying them.
Like Chicago. I mean, it's working great in Chicago, working great
We
in
say it all the
Baltimore.
time. They made
Was
murder.
it 64, I think, this weekend?
Crazy.
63 this
Yeah.
weekend in Chicago?
Yeah, they made murder illegal, and that solved that problem. That's good to know. So.
And guns, too, because you can't get guns in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Nope.
But the problem is from neighboring places, you can get guns.
Like your best friend.
Or something like that. I mean, you got that Texas guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't get a gun.
that one's going to be interesting.
that's
I'm,
good.
I'm kind of, well, that one raises some questions because if I
We're
understand
getting
this
there.
right, he failed, apparently, I
background
read
check.
somewhere that he failed a background check for a firearm transfer or a purchase. So he bought one through a private sale. And then he went on this, cops tried to pull him over because he didn't use his blinker and he decided it was just open season. Just
Well,
broke.
and from what I understand, he had just been fired from the trucking company that he worked with.
Yeah.
He had just been fired previous to that, and so he was a little bit on edge, I guess, and decided we'd just shoot random people with an, what did they call it? I read one article, an AR type assault type rifle. So now you have assault type rifles.
AR type, assault type?
Yeah.
So are they attempting to identify everything?
I mean, maybe. I'm not really. I can't
you
keep
know what?
track
It was-
of all the stupid that goes on right now.
It was probably a piston AR. Is why they're confused. They, you know, the difference between DI and piston, they didn't understand that, so that's why they're probably calling it an AR type, because it was a piston gun instead of a DI gun.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
What do you think, Phil?
For
Does
all
that
we
make sense?
know, because I don't even
No?
think they've actually announced what guns he was using, have they?
I haven't seen anything
So,
for sure.
I mean, he may have like a 1022, which is an
Yeah.
AR type assault type rifle.
with the right stock.
I mean, it is a rifle.
semi-automatic.
It
Yeah.
is semi-automatic. Yeah. I did get to the pleasure of seeing the semi-automatic go fully semi-automatic this weekend, though. That was kind of interesting.
So does that mean you just pull the trigger real fast?
No, he
Is
pulled
that-
the trigger
is
once
that
trying to get
fully
one shot,
semi-automatic?
and it just kind of went haywire, and he was like, "Oh God!" So when you replace trigger parts in your gun, you should test it before you show up at a match.
So,
So yeah, something let
Nice.
go. It's a PCC gun. I have not talked to him since. All I
did it do
know
it magged up, or did it do like three and
I
three,
just
or-
kind of went brrrt and just kind of squeezed off the three of them, and he looked at it frantically and went, brrrt. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
And so he was done, and he left and
ATF
went and go
go
put in
visit.
new trigger parts back into it, and then came back later on, then it was down to just its normal. So I'm not really sure what the problem was there, and he said, I don't know, I just punched the two pins out, threw the old trigger back in, punched these two pins back in, and then he's good to go. So the rest of the day he was just shooting.
Was it a
regular.
Glock? Was it?
No, it was a AR-9.
Oh, really?
PCC gun, so
Yeah.
instantly when I heard it go off the first time, I was like, oh, there went your disconnector, because that is a pretty common thing
Yeah.
with the PCC guns, is that they just eat the disconnector. This is a brand new trigger, pretty reputable trigger too, so I honestly don't know what the problem was, but it didn't work real well for him, because first stage it just went haywire.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, so not bad for guys in law enforcement. Whoops. So definitely wasn't done on purpose, and definitely was a malfunction. So got it straightened up, good to go. But yeah, some of them fully semi-automatics go fully semi-automatic sometimes. It's kind of exciting.
You're starting to use these terms like they're legitimate, and I'm so confused.
Exactly. And that's the key. That's what we like to do here. Lots of confusion and.
Yeah, the next thing that I expect you to say is, you know, just like my our representatives, trust me, I know what I'm doing.
I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express one time.
Yeah.
It makes me an expert in all things, right?
Crazy stuff. So anyway, what's going on here? We got some.
We have IDPA tomorrow. And
That'll be fun.
We got some new toys.
Yep.
So we got some new stuff that we worked out, and so be some different types of target engagements, and more of them to come.
Cool.
And as we started initially looking at this first one, Dustin's eyes got all big, and then we started talking with Phil, and then Phil's eyes all got big, and mine were already big because I built it over the weekend. So it's that'll be interesting.
Now I'm really nervous.
Just different ideas of things we can do and cause mass chaos in competitors' minds.
Okay.
So, you know.
So come prepared for.
Yeah, come prepared for a lot of different things.
That's cool.
We'll start
I
off
mean,
small.
Well,
Keep
that's one of
building
the
up,
neat
though.
things that I like about shooting those matches is I think that changing things up like that, introducing new stuff, different stuff, challenging stuff, is not only is it fun, but it really has a good correlation to real world stuff, because there's no one scenario for this happening or that happening.
Exactly. And a lot of guys will say, competition shooting gets you killed in the streets. No, it really won't, because at no point in real world are you going to jump out in the middle of an opening and be like, oh, I get to shoot all the things. Because it's normally going to be one of them things where you don't know it's coming up and it's just all of a sudden there. And so if that threat presents itself, you really don't have an opportunity of going, excuse me, I don't work at this distance. Can you scoot back 3 yards for me?
Right.
I'm used to 7 yards. Please stand still.
Well,
Hold your gun like this for me.
Well, the other side of that is these competitions, you guys move from cover to cover.
Yep.
Or concealment to concealment. So
Yep.
that is a training aspect of, hey, something bad happens, move. And that's a huge part
Get off
of
the
what
X.
IDPA is.
Get off the X.
So-
do the things.
Being able to do a
moving.
magazine change, being able to make decisions on multiple targets, being precise with your firearm. That's all good stuff.
Oh yeah, and literally it comes into where I had a guy in this morning that was looking. His son wants to get into 3-gun and so on and so forth, and we start talking. And next thing you know, he says, something about how his son's really been trying to work on things, and he's working on pistol right now, and he keeps having a problem where his gun is it's shooting, to the left and a little bit low, and must be the sights.
Yeah.
So it was, one of those things where, is he shooting a Glock? How did you know that? It's weird, but we have classes for that.
Yep.
So, either our intermediate pistol, which will go through not necessarily uber basics, not super advanced, but that intermediate section right in there. Weird how Phil named it that, but an intermediate section of not quite at the bottom end, but not quite ready to go on to the next steps of shooting. So going over more of the actual proper grip and proper recoil control and so forth. So plus learn a couple of little tricks on how to break yourself of that elusive
The push.
chase.
Yep.
At least chase it. Don't.
Well, if you've never seen one, come out and watch.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, those events are a lot. I don't care. I'm not going to say I don't care what level that you're at. You need to be able to safely manipulate the firearm, draw from holster, reholster, do mag changes. But you don't have to move fast. I say it all the time. There are, 10 that are competitors that participate. And then there are 15 that are, I just want to get better with my gun and have some fun doing it.
That's literally how I started out.
Right?
It was like, what? I can move and shoot?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show up.
Yeah.
And the competition bite, it is strong. But at the same time, like you pointed out, like the oldest person that I have shot with at a local match was this 80-year-old woman. She was shooting a full frame 1911 and a leather outside the waistband holster, and she just wanted to try it. And she got up there and draws this big old gun out there, and she settles in, and boom, boom, and then she went on her little old lady wiggle walk, and literally, we're talking one step from a walker. I mean, this woman was taking her time in those little baby grandma steps.
Tim Conway and the Carol Burnett show, kind of.
Yes, very similar. Just again, take
Sam
away.
has no idea what I'm
I should
talking
have
about.
no clue. Take away the walker and just that little shuffle walk, and then she went. But I tell you what, she had so much fun. She's grinning from ear to ear. Her husband's in the back of the room, just chest beating out. He was just so proud of her. And she got done with the first one, and I'm standing there, and she gets done shooting, and then I said, okay, well, unload and show clear. And she does it. She looks at me. She goes, son, that was just the most fun I've had with a pistol in I don't know how long. That was just awesome. And just a sweet little old lady. And I've shot all the way down in competitions with Evan Craig, who's a big-time up-and-comer. Anybody that's in the scene has heard that name before. And I want to say he was somewhere around 9 when he first started shooting with us.
Yeah.
His dad's a real good dude, but Evan,
Anyway,
I mean,
it's wide open. Don't think that if
Both
you're
ends
not
of
a
the
pro
spectrum.
shooter that you can't participate. That's not true.
Yep.
Come on out. We can help you do that.
yep, come on out. And if you don't have everything, we'll get you squared away.
Basic handgun this Saturday. Still got a couple of spots there.
Yep.
Right.
SIG Armorers courses, we got 365 and the 320 classes on Monday and Tuesday respectively.
Those are open. You can register for those through SIG's website. I'm sorry.
So you got to
That's
go
correct.
through SIG's website, punch in Baldwin, and boom, and it'll come up
We'll
with
put
the
a link.
options.
Just check our Facebook page. There's a link up there.
They-
Link on our website.
Yeah, there's links on our website. It's kind of convoluted, but in case you get lost, because I did trying to find the right link and so forth. If you get lost, you can go to SIG's website, go in there and search, and you can find the Baldwin ones, and you can actually jump into ours.
And then the end of the month, we're going to have a Glock Armorers course that you can also sign up for through Glock's website. No?
I don't know that
We
that.
have Glock days.
We have Glock days.
Armor's course is the end of the year.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
the end of
that's
the year.
the end of the
Okay.
year. Yeah.
But there is a Glock Armorers course that's going to be here as well if you want
Yeah,
to
that's
do that.
in, I want to say December.
Grab that one quickly. You go to Glock's website, and they've got a section for their courses, their armorers courses. Choose Missouri will pop up, and then you can get registered through there too. So,
I'm putting links in the comments for this video.
okay,
Hey, check the links.
check the links
Down
Oh,
into
check
there.
The comments.
Like, just scroll, and then boom, right there.
We've got like 8 spots left in our Girls Just Want to Have Guns on Wednesday.
Yes,
Coming
next
up on the
Wednesday.
11th.
Yep.
And then 2-gun match next
Next
Thursday,
Thursday.
but that you're going to open enrollment on Saturday.
That'll open up. It's 9 a.m. on Saturday. Set your timers. 7 minutes for last month. You jump in there quick. Get in there early.
Yep. We
Get signed up.
need
It's
to
awesome.
really look at maybe doing a Tuesday and a Thursday on that or something if we've got that many people in.
Yeah, the hard part about doing multiple days though is that how do you make sure that it's the same match that the Tuesday guys shoot and the Thursday guys shoot?
If you do them the same week,
No, don't worry about it.
yeah.
Just make it 2 different matches.
So then you're just going to try and get all the shooters to show up twice in a week?
Yeah, or you choose one or the other. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Extra shooters. They
Yeah.
can win a.
We're going to look at that because I mean,
For other
if we're selling
matches,
that out.
this
in-
is this is the 2-gun though, and it's like kind of worth points for people.
Yeah,
Towards
but I mean, if we're
big
selling it
prize
out
table at the
in
end,
10 minutes, we should look and see if we can do another one.
or open a second bay.
We'll figure something out.
We'll keep working on that, boys.
Well, if it's a second bay, it's even more guaranteed that it's not going to be the same course.
No, it'll guarantee to be the same course because second bay. Then you have
Bays aren't the same size.
right. You have a squad shooting a stage here and a squad shooting a stage here, and then they flip flop. So that right there is
Okay.
two stages, and then you rearrange both stages.
Okay, gotcha.
stages a week.
We'll figure something out, but we got to figure out a way to get more people that want to participate in that taken care of.
Yep.
All right.
So some of the chaos. You talked about it briefly. This Texas guy, man, like, there's no real rhyme or reason. They haven't even figured out what caused him, other than he was mad that he got fired.
Yeah, it just comes back to, since the dawn of man, there have been people that are not good, that are going to do stuff to other people, and punishing the good people by taking away the tools they need to defend themselves isn't going to make bad people nice. Passing more laws that says if you break this law you have to go to jail isn't going to make people not break the law. I mean, criminals.
Yeah, because I mean,
are
it
criminals.
was. I read somewhere that one of, I think it was his coworker or his neighbor or something like that. He had threatened to shoot her a month ago. So I mean, this isn't like a guy that isn't known to be a bad dude. They called on him, reported it. Nothing was done.
Well, something is going on with
So-
the guy because he didn't pass a background check.
Right.
So good on, I mean, that part of the process worked, but if somebody knows that, here's the challenge with a person-to-person sale, in my opinion. I've known Phil since we were 6 years old, right? Grew up with Phil. Phil's never committed a felony. He was a Marine. He's raising kids. I know Phil's a good guy. I can sell him a gun confidently. I'm good with that. Person-to-person sale, done deal. Now, Sam, who I met 3 days ago, and see, just that look alone would make me say, we should go to the range and run a background check before we sell you a gun, right?
She has
So-
bought multiple guns to
I know.
us, so she has.
But my
passed
point
background
is-
checks.
Over 2 weeks ago.
My point is on that person-to-person sale, the responsible gun owner isn't just going to say, yeah, sure, I don't know you, but here, I'll sell you my gun, right? That seems to be, I'm interested to see what's going to happen here because my gut tells me that whoever sold him that firearm is going to get a lot of visits. be under a lot of scrutiny for that.
Yeah, could be.
And,
could be.
you know, if they knew him and knew that it could have been one of his buddies, you know, that went and he said, hey, I flunked my background check. Will you
Oh,
buy
I
a gun for
highly
me?
doubt that he told
Right?
anybody that.
But I'm just,
I mean, if it's
lot of-
if
lot of
it
ifs
went
out
to the you know, the black market for it, then yeah, I could see him going there and saying, hey, but otherwise, I don't think that's going to be something that you're going, because I think, like you pointed out, most of us gun owners, if you can't prove to me that you are a legitimate person,
we're going to get a
I don't
background check.
see a background check being out of the question. And that's the thing that I struggle with, is that universal background checks, while the theory on some aspects is ultimately scary, the other end of it is, how do you actually do that?
Yep.
I think it would be something simple, and it's you know, simple enough, or it could be, that where you have a public NICS type thing where you can then put in your information and then whose other the information is, and have a token fee that you're going to have to pay to get the background check, so you can. But it's got to be something easy. I mean, they have background checks that you
See,
can
the
submit to
challenge with
earlier
that
now.
though is, if I'm doing this online, how do I prove that I am who I say I am?
Well,
For this approval, right?
That I
So-
say as easy as, obviously,
Yeah.
like, we have issues, and it's going to come back to, if we can't ask for somebody to provide a proof of identification, like, it gets tough that way. And
So here's what I think is going to happen. This is prediction according to Ron. I think this stuff that's going on right now, especially with this latest one in Texas, that was a person-to-person sale, that you're going to see universal background checks get a lot of footing. I think universal background checks will probably happen.
how do you do those?
I'm not saying.
You know, that's
Dude,
where I'm
We're talking about the
struggling.
government. It doesn't,
Yeah.
you know, the execution doesn't have to make sense. They just want to make people
Very
feel
true.
good, right? So I think that it's a real possibility that universal background checks passes. If that happens, I think that the registration of firearms will be close behind. I think they're going to figure out a way to do that. I know that there was a law that, when was that, like in the 80s or something, that
Yeah.
basically said that the government cannot keep that information. I think they're going to look at changing that.
It was
I
at the
think,
Brady.
yeah, I
Brady
think
bill, I
that's
believe.
there's a huge possibility that both of those things could happen. Now, I think it's important for us to be involved, talking to our congressmen, being involved in our communities, educating people. You know, we had a reporter call us and say, ask John this question: how would your business be affected if you had to run a background check on every firearm that you sold? A reporter asked us that. So people obviously think that you can buy a gun without a background check. If you go to a licensed dealer, that is an absolute lie. You do
Yeah.
a background check every time.
Well, you can go online
So-
and you can buy a gun online.
Yeah, for free, and just have it shipped to your house. And you have
No,
a
you're not for free. You
machine
pay
gun
money, and then
extra. What do you
they
call it?
ship it
Clipazines,
to your an FFL,
and then
and
you
then
just
when you
go
go
get
in
it.
there to the FFL, they just hand it to you.
Obama said in a news
After
conference,
the
you can go online and buy a
4473.
gun and have it delivered to your house right now.
Yeah.
You know, total lies.
Well, he also said if you like your insurance, you can keep it.
Yeah. There's so much misinformation about firearms. We're going to have to be more vigilant, more involved, and we need to have we need to stand on the side of the evidence, even
Right.
though I heard something. I was listening to Joe Rogan this morning. He had Penn Teller on.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy's. I don't agree with everything, but the guy's smart,
Who?
right?
Which one?
Penn.
Okay.
But no, Penn and Teller. His name's not Penn Teller. What is it?
Penn Gillette.
Penn Gillette.
Yeah.
So, smart guy.
Yeah.
Real smart guy. And I don't agree with everything, but the guy's smart. And he made a comment that I just resonated with me. He said, people believe, the facts don't matter when people believe something.
Right.
Right? And we see that more and more and more and more and more today, that people make up their mind about something without getting all the facts. And now that they believe that, the facts no longer matter. They'll fight to the death instead of having an intelligent conversation and discussing things.
Correct.
So,
Sometimes even intelligent people do that.
oh, it happened.
Like me and Chris fought over the rainforest last week.
Yeah, 9mm, 40 Smith & Wesson. But the truth is that, and he even said it. He said, it applies. It's just our human nature. It's become our
it's
human
everything.
nature now. And once you believe something, the facts no longer matter. And the media has done such a good job of disinforming the public about firearms and the gun industry that it's all now fact. And overcoming that is going to be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
We're getting
It's-
any comments or feedback? Anybody fighting, wanting to
That's what
fight
I'm
or
looking
anything?
down.
No, we've got some comments, they're not really arguing or engaging with like that part.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean,
And Dave, yes, but you have to dress the part.
uh-oh.
Yes. He said, can I temporarily identify as a girl and shoot the girls just want to have guns event? Yes, but you gotta be, I'm talking like old school Bud Light commercial. Like you gotta come in really owning that. And then, yeah, I mean, same saying no, but
We need
I'll
a,
say
He's gonna
yes.
show up and make dad jokes. He'll give himself away immediately.
No, yeah, she's right. No dad jokes. Mom jokes though.
I'm
You
having-
do mom jokes?
Moms don't make jokes, they make
oh,
cookies.
please.
My mom makes some jokes.
Make it stop.
My mom
she's a funny
makes them
lady.
at my expense.
I like my mom. My mom's awesome.
I'm having flashbacks to that It's Ma'am video.
No, this is way earlier than ma'am video.
I know it is.
This
I know
is
it
like
is, but I'm-
straight Bud
I'm seeing-
Light.
I'm seeing somebody show up.
Speaking of which, Wednesdays, don't forget, ladies, you shoot for
Yeah,
free
yeah, yeah.
today. Every
Shoot
Wednesday.
for free, ladies shoot for free on Wednesdays. So anyway, so there's that. So we've covered
Right.
Dallas, we've covered universal background checks, we've covered crimes illegal, so there are no more crimes, and we've covered.
Yeah. I like the Hong Kong memes that are rolling around saying, be the American Hong Kong thinks you are.
What?
That- oh, yeah. Hong Kong.
What are you talking about?
Hong Kong. So Hong Kong is in a big battle right now because
Right.
Hong Kong was a separate country from China, owned by Britain. Britain
Yep.
had their 99-year lease. They
Right.
turned it back over to Hong Kong. They were in this little like, okay, Hong Kong has its deal and China has its deal, and then China finally came in and was like, so we got this new, we're gonna imply,
change the
right, and so they decided they were gonna do this extradition bill. So any person committed or accused of committing a crime in Hong Kong would be sent over to mainland China for them to do everything there. And the people have been up in arms, and it's going on like, I think it's
Yeah.
6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. They've been fighting, and so the chief executive, Carrie finally said yesterday that the government is formally withdrawing that. So
China is?
yes,
Yeah.
China is withdrawing that. So who knows where that's going? But that just goes to show you, like you have people in Hong Kong that are raising the red, white, and blue and waving that bad boy around, saying we want the freedoms that the Americans have. Let us be free like the Americans.
Yep.
We want things like America does. The freedom of being able to pursue life, liberty, and happiness, or property, depending on which way you read that. But that's all they want, is they want the ability to be free, and
Our
they're
government-
looking at
just
the
have our government
U.S.
leave us alone.
And we got the U.S. news sites that are just literally just blasting away at stupidness. It makes no sense. So be the America that Hong Kong
That
thinks
everybody
you
wants
are.
us to be?
Yes, that Hong Kong thinks you are.
Well, that's what we're trying to be.
That's what we're trying to be, yes.
Yeah.
We're getting outranked in some sense. But. And the other local one, California dive boat fire.
That was just sad,
Man,
dude.
holy cow. I didn't even
You
know.
didn't even know
I
about
didn't
that.
hear
This-
nothing about this. So if you guys haven't heard about this, there's a dive boat, like underwater diving, in California. Had 34 people on there that were all going
I think there
for
were like
an
38
entire,
or 40 people on there.
well, 34 like people,
Yep.
I guess, and
Like
then
5 or
not
6
including all the staff
members,
and
yeah.
whatnot. But the whole idea was to go out and go do a bunch of scuba diving
Yeah.
and snorkeling and whatnot over Labor Day weekend. Yeah, Phil would have had a blast doing that all the way up to the end. They also, in between the dive sessions, they were doing like catered fancy foods, and I'm guessing this was some sort of a hoity-toity
Well, they're
thing.
enjoying
but-
themselves.
yeah, it's supposed to be having a great, and then that last night there, something happened. They're not really sure what it is, but the boat caught fire, and
34 dead.
Yeah, they're saying that the frantic call that came in leads them to believe that both exits that they had from inside of there were blocked by the fire. So
How does that happen? That
everything-
just smells bad, doesn't it?
like they got there in like 14 minutes, I think, from the fire, and they burnt all the way down to
Yeah,
the water line.
Yeah, so really, really sad deal.
Yeah,
The
so-
captain or several crew members were able to jump overboard
Mm-hmm.
and escape, but the thing just, yeah, it's like you said, it's like, how do all the exits become blocked
You're supposed to
They're
go
at
back.
the same time?
They're tiny and.
It's a boat,
they're
man.
only-
Wouldn't take very much.
Yeah, it wouldn't take
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah. Well, and why aren't there, you know, it was an old boat too. It was wooden boat. I mean, why wouldn't there be 30, you know, fire extinguishers on something like that? Especially on a dive boat with the oxygen and everything else that you got.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing, is I don't know if they have oxygen on, a lot of people say
Compressed air.
oxygen and it's air.
Yeah.
It's possible they have O2 on there.
Yeah.
They probably did for medical reasons, but they may not have for the gas.
For the dive, yeah.
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 Yeah, most of those run by a big compressor, don't they?
Yeah,
Generally
but
speaking,
they
you
do,
just
they
have a-
can mix gases for diving
Right.
also,
Right.
oxygen, nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
Or helium.
Yeah. Check out the big rain on film.
I'm just confused.
Like,
That's
right
why
over
you're
the top.
supposed to go down with your ship.
Yeah, well, you know,
That's what the Pirates of the Caribbean told me.
That explains so much in that one little
In
sentence.
reality, a lot of those.
That's
facts
what
out of
Pirates of
movies
the
were
Caribbean
legitimate.
taught me,
Like, that's the thing. You said your ship was going down, you
right?
went
Does
down.
that not just, that just paints a huge, that answers so many questions.
You're the one who buys this coffee from Starbucks. I make mine out.
I don't.
You don't now because we called you out on it.
Oh, I have.
Caldi's, man. Stay local. Caldi's, the best coffee.
The best coffee is the coffee that we make right here because it's free.
No, it's not free.
It's reasonably
No,
priced.
John pays for that. Thank you very much.
All right.
So it's not free.
How do we end up talking about caffeine?
I don't know, but I could totally use some Caldi's coffee right now. And update, yes, Dave. I don't know about the shaving of the legs. He's asking, does he have to shave the legs? And I don't know about
Mid-thigh.
that. Like, I
Mid-thigh.
think yes. I say yes because I'm going to try and talk you out of it a little bit, or at least going all in. But he did say that he'll bring baked goods, so I'm kind of thinking I like baked goods. So they got to be really good though, like, not like some ho hum stuff, and definitely not no store.
I don't know. My gut tells me we're opening a lot of doors that we shouldn't be right now.
Why? Dude, do you know how much fun it's going to be? So, for anybody who doesn't know, Dave worked for Proper. So you get the Proper guy in here, dressed up in women's, like,
Yeah, because he's.
it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah. It's going to take you you don't have enough time to shave your legs. I've seen your legs.
Again, like, I don't even know if that matters. But I'm saying, I think
We could have waxed him on live video.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if I got a thing that I got to be at when he does, like.
Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, let's get into, what else do we got to get into?
So, St. Louis
Yeah,
once
yeah.
again makes front page news across the country. The officer involved shooting for the Richmond Heights officer
Galleria.
at the Galleria.
It's a lot of stuff that,
So this one, so I think obviously our law enforcement and our media has learned something, it seems to me, from our fluorescent issues. The media did a better job of controlling their angst as they reported it. I said better, I didn't say good, I
All right.
didn't say perfect. I said better. They obviously immediately start painting a picture of,
this nice guy wasn't doing anything.
there's nothing wrong. Yeah, he wasn't doing anything wrong. But I did also see that they did actually post, he did have a record, a felony record. He did have felony warrants. They posted some pictures that he had posted of himself with the firearm in question, kind of showing it off to the camera with the
He did a video like
25
3
round
hours
magazine in it.
before that.
Right.
on his way to the mall.
Right. So, more evidence is coming out. Latest reports are that the shooter, I'm sorry, not the shooter, but the
shootee, the victim.
what was his name again? Well,
Doesn't matter.
the
Like I said,
the gentleman that the
Yeah.
Richmond Heights police did actually engage, shoot and kill. His wounds were
In the
chest
front,
wounds.
yeah.
There were no exit, not even exit wounds, from what I understand, in the rear. And that the reports are that he had raised his firearm at the officers, and that's when they engaged him. So this whole thing. So there's something interesting to talk about here. Let's just take the felony part out of it and who this guy was. And let's just. I think this is a good opportunity to maybe do a little education. We got Phil here as well on concealed carry when you're going to the mall, right? So Galleria has signs all over the place, right? Says firearms are not allowed on
very
premises.
strict no firearms policy. Anybody is seen
Right.
with a firearm, they're told to
Right.
leave,
So this gentleman was
excluding law enforcement.
This gentleman was reported to, our mall security said that they saw him and saw a magazine extending
It
from
was
his waist.
reported and
Right.
he was seen, yes.
So they had Richmond Heights police go up and approach the guy to say, hey, you cannot have a firearm on these premises. And that's when he ran. Okay, it accelerated from there. Couple of things I think that are going to be important. First of all, if there's a sign on a building that says we do not allow firearms, it's up to you to make a decision on whether or not you want to follow that, unless it's like the post office or a government building. Those are absolute no-nos, correct, Phil? So
Federal, yes.
from a federal standpoint, if it's a mall or a business, it is their right to set that guideline. And if you violate it, it's basically a misdemeanor charge, correct? If they choose to prosecute you.
It's trespassing.
Yeah. So, what I think happened, the officer went up to say, "Hey, you can't be here with that gun." And if that was me, first of all, I'm not going to have a 25-round mag in a Glock 22 walking around at the mall, right? So that was he wanted to be seen. It almost seems like to me. But if you're approached in those instances, it's like, all right, officer, my apologies, I missed the sign, I am leaving right now. And that probably is going to be the end of it, 9 times out of 10. Now, if it had turned into, hey, you got a firearm, can I see your concealed carry permit, or can I see your license?
Can't do that. Can't do that.
The officer can't do that unless he has cause.
Nope.
But
Can't do that. Can't ask to see your ID.
But there is a caveat to that for me, because he is on private property that has posted that firearms are not allowed.
Correct.
That
And the
he
way
is
that law
violating.
reads, I believe.
Now,
is-
can the officer ask to see his ID?
No.
He can.
No,
He absolutely can.
I'm pretty sure that the way the law reads that the cop has to assume that since you are carrying it inside a place that has signs, they have to assume that you have your CCW.
Negative.
If
Because you're
Because there's no way for them to verify my concealed carry
but it
license.
doesn't matter, because you're on a premises that's posted you can't have a firearm. So you're already in violation. That gives them the right to ask for ID.
But if you have your CCW, you can carry it there.
yes, but you have to.
So it's that twist of the,
You have to, they can ask you for your ID.
well, ID, yes.
Yep.
And then if you are concealed carrying a firearm, it is not illegal if you have a CCW, so they're gonna ask to see your CCW permit, which then doesn't have a picture, but it has your name, your address on it to match against your ID. You have to have both.
Right.
When you carry your gun, you have to have your ID and your permit.
And your photo ID and your permit. So, that being said, if the officer, you're in violation, it's a misdemeanor, all right, it's not a big deal. The officer may have, I'm just speculating, but the officer may have said, hey, need to see your ID, and this guy's already a wanted felon, that may have initiated the chase, right? He knows he's busted, got to roll. But if you find yourself in that situation, turn over your ID, turn over your CCW. Now again, in Missouri, CCW, not required. It is a constitutional or a permitless carry state, which is actually how it reads. But you have to be a non-felon and able to legally own that firearm. So if you find yourself at the mall, in a store, and for some reason your firearm has been exposed, cops show up, They want to see your ID, give it to them. Just
Yeah.
comply, and basically they're going to say, hey, you can't be here with that gun, and then it's going to be, I'm leaving. My apologies, I missed the sign, I'm on my way out. If you want to get belligerent and fight with them, then you're going to get a ticket, right?
Or worse.
Or worse, you can just escalate the situation, so.
Yeah. So I think more
My
of the story-
best guess of that scenario was that's kind of how that went down. The officer approached him, hey, you can't have a firearm here, can I see some ID? And the guy just took off running because he knew he had,
he's like,
knew he had warrants.
uh-oh,
And if,
I'm in
just
trouble.
in case you haven't figured this out, if you have a gun and you run from the police, they're gonna chase you.
Yep.
Just saying. And this guy was 50 years old and chased this guy.
And yeah,
Pretty
and then,
impressive.
there may have been up to 3 different officers involved
Yeah,
in this.
right.
Depending on which.
And the mall
report you read.
security guy actually was an off-duty police officer as well, so.
Texas.
So did that raise any questions or
I don't know,
comments
but
or?
Phil is actually telling me to check.
Okay. You got an update, live update?
I don't know. I shot until I couldn't shoot anymore. She said I saved my life. Please, woman shoots man who reached into car, tried to steal her purse.
This just happened?
This just happened, yeah.
Oh man.
An attempted carjacking?
I guess so. Middle of the day.
And she defended
I
herself
shot
with a
until I
firearm?
couldn't shoot anymore. She said I saved my life. Woman shoots man who reached into car. God, like, yeah, like I don't know anything about that story. Obviously, just finding out about it just like right now. You can't protect property. I'm not sure how that's going to go down with it being a purse. I mean, I
She
can
said-
totally imagine
she
he's
said I
smashing
was-
in my window.
She said I was in
I
fear for my
don't
life.
expect you to only take my purse, so I totally get it.
Absolutely.
Back to this other guy,
Absolutely.
like rather than starting new laws, can we just start enforcing the ones that we have?
Prosecuting people for violating
If
the
you're
ones we have?
caught with a gun and you have been deemed not to be able to have a gun,
Lock 'em up.
felony, have gone crazy and they've got a stay on your guns, you've got whatever the case may be. If you can't actually have a gun and you're found with a gun, let's just prosecute.
Yep.
Prosecute him to the full extent of the law so that if you don't belong having a gun, you don't get a gun, period. It'll help everything. Like, it's just, let's start there, prosecute the crimes that are actually being committed. If we're doing that, there's gonna be less of these schmucks out there that are doing dumb stuff that shouldn't be doing dumb stuff.
Amen.
Because this guy had served 4 years, he was wanted for theft of a car out of
Yep.
Baldwin
Yep.
that he had sold to a guy from Chicago. Yeah, and this woman, I don't know anything about her, but that
Yeah, I feel
is-
bad for the, let's face it, if a life is lost, it's a sad thing. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not in favor of, what some people might say as far as that goes. I mean, he's got a family, he's got a baby on the way. His sister obviously loved him. She was torn up and making comments this weekend. I totally understand that, but guys, it's just, you got to use some common sense. We have laws that need to be enforced. More laws isn't going to make people behave differently, other than the law-abiding people. The criminals are still going to be criminals.
Yep.
And if you want to start resolving these issues, why don't we have our politicians, our prosecutors, why don't they start building relationships with law enforcement instead of making them the bad guys in half the situations that are out there? Build those relationships between them and the communities. Show that we can work together, that we want the same things. And instead of creating a us versus them mentality, which
Yeah.
we're just going to continue to get more of what we're getting.
Yeah, because I read a great article, I think it might have been from Elliot Davis, talking about the prosecutor in St. Louis, and she's wanting everybody to work with it, but she's constantly going out and bashing the cops. And
Yeah.
then when people do come forward with information, she's like, well, that came in from a source that I'm not taking that to court. So I know that you're telling me who killed this person, but I'm not going to listen to you
Because this officer's
I don't
involved in
like
the
that
case.
officer is involved in the case. So even though you're giving us good information, I'm going to ignore it. Well, then how is that community supposed to know that
Yeah.
when they go to the police with information, it's going to be treated correctly?
Yeah, it's hard.
She's saying, no, you talked to the wrong cop, so your information means nothing. When literally we have, what is it, up to like 13 kids that have died, 16 kids that have died this year in St. Louis?
Yeah.
I know it's not Chicago, but like I don't want to be on that same pace with Chicago.
And again, it's
not right any way around it.
And these are kids that weren't necessarily the targets, but they're wrong
weren't the
place,
target.
wrong time. They're getting caught between these rival factions that are up to no good to begin with. These neighborhoods know who these people are, but they are scared of them now because of the climate that we find ourselves in. They're scared to talk to the police, and so the thugs, it's heyday for them. I mean,
They're having a good old time.
They're having a good old
They
time.
know, and they're getting more and more boisterous in it. And like this woman, it's middle
you
of
see
the
in
day.
New York,
and
they're freaking throwing water at cops walking down the street, buckets and stuff.
and shooting cops, and
That one was interesting. They've got two in custody. Just two men were shooting at a couple of police officers arbitrarily, I guess, yesterday or the day before up in North
serious
North City.
problems.
That's a bad deal.
So let's
All
do
right.
something fun. I don't know
Stay
what-
involved,
Yeah,
stay
let's-
vigilant, make sure you're training, be a voice of reason, keep your cool, don't let things get out of hand. Think of bigger picture stuff. That's another thing that bothers me, that we see so much of this road rage and silly things that escalate into like life-altering situations.
Yeah,
You
David
know.
Horschig was actually just talking in there. He took our the anti-car checking. Said it was a great class, and I agree. It's an awesome class. Teaches you a lot of those little basics on what to do, when, how, why, and all that good stuff. So that's a good one, and it is becoming more and more common. And we've even talked in the past. Unfortunately, and fortunately, thieves can't steal cars as easily as they used to be able to
the
do.
electronics
So
prevent
they
that.
now have to get you while you're in the car. That way they can get that key fob that makes that car work. So, and they have less to worry about, because when they're caught, a lot of times, a lot of their buddies are getting their cases tossed out. So why won't they toss mine out? I'll go ahead and do it because I'm not too worried about it. And even if I get in, I'll get out in a matter of no time. No, these violent, like if there's a gun involved in the crime, I think it's a violent crime. It's automatically, book should be thrown at you.
If it's an 18 or 19-year-old kid and a 75-year-old woman, it's a violent crime. Period.
And if she has a gun, she shoots him, it's a violent crime.
Well, even if she
And
does, I
if
mean,
she proves
there's a
that
reason
it
that-
is
yeah.
personal protection, it is self-defense, cool.
Yep.
We're not going to press charges on that. That's it.
Just pay attention, folks. Make sure that And again, you got to be the light in the darkness. We got to be the light in the darkness. Use the facts. Speak the truth. Obey the law.
Shoot matches,
Shoot matches.
train,
Yeah.
take classes,
Yeah.
practice,
All the above.
shoot more.
All the above.
That way you know what you're hitting, and you
Yep.
can hit exactly which one to hit, and not the guy next to him, because that guy might be your friend. You don't want to shoot your
I
friend.
like it. Life's good. Weather's good.
It's a good time.
Labor Day was good. Coming in, now football season starts this weekend.
Woo!
My fantasy team's gonna rock it.
Block days, end of this month. Yeah. Red October,
That'll be fun.
beginning of October. Monster match, end of October.
October?
Yes, Red October. Awesome match over in Sparta,
that's
Illinois.
right. Yeah. That is a
AKs
good
and
Took me a second.
or
I'm
other
thinking
7.62 by
submarines
3.9s. You
for
can come
some
shoot
reason.
the Communist Pig class with me. My mutant out there.
You want to take one of my AKs with you and exercise it?
I mean, I can. I can sit next to and watch my mutant just eat the stages up. Is that bad boy?
That is. That mutant is cool.
Fun.
Come see us.
Yeah, we don't have
14-8.
any mutants right now.
We
Bug
got-
him to get more mutants here.
They're on. I don't crap guns and I don't make guns. I do buy them.
Less than 2 weeks, boom, we're down to, I think we do have the Mark IV still,
Yeah.
which is the 5.56 variant. 16-inch, awesome pistol, the rifle. I couldn't send it. What is
Come
it?
see us.
Hunting season starts too.
Yeah,
Hunting season
around the
coming up.
corner.
Mob right now, 2 guns clean
Ooh,
for all
yep.
members. So
If you're not a member,
bring
you
your
can be
dirty
a member.
guns in. Sign up
25, yep.
so that you can chuckle and laugh at Vinny.
25 bucks a month will get your
Hardcastle
membership.
is doing like, oh Vinny,
Oh,
you
yeah.
got some of mine already. So hey, how about pulling these 2 out? And
Oh,
do them?
Scott did? He texted
Yeah. He,
Oh,
he
Scott, if
sent a
you're
message
watching,
in.
that's smart.
Yeah, let me tell you, Vinny, super excited about that. Yeah, I think he pulled out. What did
Pick
he-
2, any 2?
No, he picked out, what was it? I think it was an M1.
Oh, no kidding.
I don't know. He picked out 2 tough ones, and Vinny's like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So, yes, bring them in. We'll take care of them.
Modern
We'll clean them up.
firearms, if
Modern
you bring us-
firearms. They gotta
Yep,
work.
yep.
Don't bring in some
Yep.
grandpa's
Bring
wall
your
hanger.
Snacks and he might be happier with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Let's keep
it is
him busy.
first come, first serve, unless you have snacks. Then Vinny
Oh my gosh.
might accidentally do one early.
I'll
Just
bring
saying.
fried chicken. I'll clean guns.
Don't bring fried chicken. This man eats more chicken. I'm surprised you're keeping up with those feathers. Trims them down, something. I don't know. But come train, come take a class.
Yep. Check out
If you're
all the
watching
stuff we
this
got
late
going on.
in
Be
the
a
thing,
member.
come get a 365. I'll give you 10% off.
What?
Yeah.
All right, we got to go
Just
before
tell
he
them
gives
I
more
said
stuff
so.
away.
What else?
We've been on here for an hour, dude. People have to go back to
58
work.
minutes.
Don't people have to work around here?
No.
Steve says I need a crossbow.
Crossbow.
I like that idea, Steve.
Do you have to be
Crossbow
19 to buy bolts for a crossbow?
I don't know, but I'm over 19 by a long shot.
I don't know. I think somebody will know.
Now that you say that, I don't know the regulations on. I would assume no.
I'll bet.
It's not a firearm.
Have you ever heard
What are you
of those
talking
things hit though? That thwack is intense.
The thwack attack.
It's pretty awesome. I love shooting bows, crossbows.
Are we just sitting here because you don't want to
Phil's
work?
just looking around like, oh my god.
Come see us at the range.
Come see us. Come take a class. Any questions? Email them to training@therange.stl or
Phil
Phil@therange.stl
@therange.stl.com.
and ask lots of crazy questions like, what is Silky's and slightly
I'm really trying to
concerned?
learn how people send
Are you ready?
I'm ready. We're ready.
Let's get out of here.
See ya.
Come see us, guys.